You won't believe what happened when a shy little boy walked up to MrBeast with a question that stopped him in his tracks. It wasn't about money, fame, or even one of his crazy stunts. It was something much deeper, something that made MrBeast pause, think, and respond in a way no one saw coming. By the time he finished answering, everyone around them had tears in their eyes. This moment didn't just change the boy's life, it reminded us all of something important. Something many of us forget every day. Stick around because this story isn't just heartwarming, it's a lesson we all need to hear. I still remember the day I stumbled across this moment. At first, it seemed like any other ordinary afternoon at one of MrBeast's meet and greets. The line stretched for what felt like miles, filled with kids clutching homemade signs, parents snapping photos, and fans buzzing with excitement. Everyone wanted a piece of Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast himself. But then, something unusual caught my eye. Near the back of the crowd, there was a little boy who looked no older than 8. He wasn't jumping up and down like the others. Instead, he stood quietly, clutching a small notepad in his hands. His head was bowed, and he kept glancing at the ground as if rehearsing what he wanted to say. When it was finally his turn, the energy shifted. You could feel it. The air went still. The boy stepped forward hesitantly, almost shyly, and held out his notepad. On it, written in big block letters, were 2 words: "What is Islam?" The crowd fell silent. Even MrBeast froze for a second. This wasn't the kind of question he usually got. Most people asked him about giveaways, challenges, or how they could become famous like him. But this was different. For a moment, you could see the wheels turning in MrBeast's head. He leaned down so he was eye level with the boy, his expression softening. Then he said something that made everyone lean in closer. "Islam," he began slowly, "is a beautiful thing." That's when things got interesting. What followed next wasn't just an answer, it was a lesson. A lesson wrapped in kindness, understanding, and respect. And by the time MrBeast finished speaking, the entire crowd erupted into applause. But here's the thing. This wasn't just a random act of goodwill. There was more to the story behind why the boy asked that question and why MrBeast's response meant so much to everyone who witnessed it. To understand why this moment mattered so much, you need to know a little more about the boy. His name was Amir, and he wasn't from around here. He and his family had moved to the US just a few months ago from a small village halfway across the world. Everything about their new life was different. The language, the food, the way people dressed. But nothing stood out more than how people reacted when they learned they were Muslim. Amir's mom once told him that being different wasn't a bad thing. "It means you have something special to share with the world," she said. But try telling that to an 8-year-old who just wants to fit in. Kids at school would whisper behind his back or ask questions he didn't always know how to answer. Sometimes, they weren't even questions, they were jokes, mean ones. One day, after another tough afternoon at school, Amir came home feeling defeated. That's when his dad showed him a video of MrBeast. "This man helps people," his dad explained. "He doesn't care where they come from or what they believe, he just wants to make the world better." From that moment on, Amir became obsessed with MrBeast. He watched every video, memorized every challenge, and dreamed of meeting him one day. But there was one question burning inside him, a question no one seemed able to answer clearly. What is Islam? It wasn't that Amir didn't know anything about his faith. He did. But whenever someone asked him about it, he struggled to explain it in a way that made sense to them. All he knew was that Islam was supposed to be beautiful, peaceful, and full of love. Yet the way some people treated him made him wonder if they saw it the same way. So when his parents surprised him with tickets to meet MrBeast, Amir decided this was his chance. If anyone could help him understand, and maybe even show others, what Islam really meant, it had to be MrBeast. When MrBeast leaned down and looked Amir in the eyes, he must have seen something familiar. Maybe it was the same look he'd seen on other kids who felt lost or misunderstood. Or maybe it was the hope in Amir's voice as he asked his question. Whatever it was, it struck a chord. MrBeast took a deep breath before answering. "Islam," he said again, is about kindness. It's about helping others, being honest, and treating everyone with respect. Muslims pray 5 times a day because they're reminding themselves to stay close to God and do good in the world. Then he added something unexpected. You know, I've met people from all over the world, and some of the kindest, most generous people I've ever known are Muslim. They remind me that no matter where you come from or what you believe, we're all human beings trying to do our best. The crowd listened intently, hanging on to every word, but for Amir, those words hit differently. For the first time he felt proud, not just of his faith, but of himself. Still, the story doesn't end there. As Amir walked away, clutching his notepad tightly, something incredible happened. People started lining up, not to take selfies with MrBeast, but to talk to Amir. They wanted to learn more, they wanted to understand, and that's when things got complicated. Because while many people were kind and curious, not everyone shared the same openness. Some whispered harsh words under their breath. Others muttered things like, "Why does he have to bring religion into this?" Amir noticed. How could he not? But instead of shrinking back, he stood taller. He remembered what MrBeast had said, that kindness wins, no matter what. And maybe, just maybe, this was his chance to prove it. As the whispers grew louder around him, Amir felt his heart race. He wanted to run, to hide, to disappear into the crowd like he'd done so many times before. But then he remembered something else MrBeast had said. Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared, it means doing the right thing, even when you are. Taking a deep breath, Amir turned to face the skeptics. His voice trembled at first, but as he spoke, it grew stronger. "I didn't come here to argue," he said. "I just wanted to understand my faith better. And now I know, it's about being kind, helping others, and loving God. If that scares anyone, I'm sorry, but I won't be ashamed of who I am." The silence that followed was deafening. For a moment, it seemed like time stood still, then one by one, people started clapping. Not everyone, but enough to drown out the negativity. A woman near the front stepped forward and handed Amir a small flower she'd been holding. "Thank you," she said softly, "for reminding us what really matters." Tears filled Amir's eyes as more people joined in. Some hugged him, others simply nodded or smiled. Even those who had doubted earlier looked thoughtful, as if they were seeing things differently for the first time. MrBeast watched from a distance, his arms crossed and a proud smile on his face. When the crowd finally began to disperse, he walked over to Amir and knelt down again. "You did good today, buddy," he said. "Real good." Amir grinned, clutching the flower tightly. Do you think they'll remember?" "I think they already have," MrBeast replied. "And I think you've inspired them to be better, to see the world through eyes of kindness, just like you did." That night, Amir went home feeling lighter than he had in months. He told his parents everything, from the questions to the answers to the way strangers had treated him afterward. His mom hugged him tightly, tears streaming down her face. "You've done something amazing today," she whispered. "Not just for yourself, but for everyone who heard your story." Word spread quickly after that. Someone in the crowd had recorded the exchange and posted it online. Within hours, the video went viral. Thousands of comments poured in, praising both Amir's courage and MrBeast's wisdom. People shared their own stories of struggles with faith, identity, and acceptance, and thanked Amir for reminding them of the power of compassion. Even MrBeast weighed in later, posting a message on social media. "Sometimes, the smallest voices carry the biggest lessons. Today, a little boy taught me, and hopefully all of you, that love and understanding can change the world. Let's keep spreading that message, okay?" The response was overwhelming. Schools invited Amir to speak. Community leaders reached out to thank him. Strangers sent letters saying his words had changed their perspective. It was proof that even in a world full of noise, a single act of bravery could cut through and make a difference. But for Amir, the most important change happened within himself. He no longer felt afraid to stand out or speak up. He realized that being different wasn't something to hide, it was something to celebrate. And as he lay in bed that night, staring at the flower on his bedside table, he made a promise to himself. No matter how hard things got, he would always choose kindness, because in the end, that's what Islam and life was all about. If this story touched your heart as much as it did mine, then please take a moment to hit that like button. It means the world to me and helps spread stories like Amir's even further. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, because there are so many more incredible true stories waiting for you right here on this channel. I'd also love to hear what you thought about this video. What stood out to you? Have you ever had a moment where someone changed the way you saw the world? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And hey, don't forget to share this story with someone who needs to hear it today. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or just someone scrolling through social media, let's keep spreading messages of kindness and understanding, one click at a time. Before you go, I want to leave you with something MrBeast said during that unforgettable moment. Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared, it means doing the right thing even when you are. Think about that for a second. How can you be brave in your own life? Who knows, maybe your small act of courage will inspire others just like Amir inspired us all. Thanks for watching, and remember, no matter how different we may seem, we're all connected by our shared humanity. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next story.